Buenos dias, amigos, and welcome to another edition of Comics and Coffee, a place where I come to you directly after waking up in the morning as I enjoy my very first cup of coffee of the day. Today I wanted to talk to you about something that has a long history with this, amigos, which is smoking cigarettes. Unfortunately, I started smoking at a very young age. I was very impressionable, and most of my heroes growing up were smokers. Some of those heroes were in comic books, and last night, before I went down for my nightly siesta, I decided to catch up on the new NBC show Constantine, based off one of my favorite childhood comics, Hellblazer. Growing up in the early 90s, I read a ton of Vertigo comics. They were at their height. They had the toughest, most horrifying characters imaginable, and one of my favorite books as a kid was Hellblazer. John Constantine and Hellblazer smoked like a chimney. It looked badass. All the other badasses in comics were smokers. The Punisher, Wolverine, the Grifter, if you were into that sort of thing. And I was very impressionable, and unfortunately I took to a dirty habit at a young age. And watching the show last night, I noticed Constantine didn't smoke. And he doesn't really seem too badass in that show. Does smoking have a link to being a tough guy? I'm starting to think yes.
Now don't get the wrong idea, kids. If you're young, don't start smoking. It really does suck. I still can't quit. I gotta smoke this stupid nerd cigarette electronic thing and I look like a total wiener. But I gotta say, it does signify that you're doing something that's not good for you. That you really don't care. That you don't give a fuck. John Constantine is losing his edge on this stupid TV show by not smoking cigarettes. Kids should be able to make their own decisions, right or wrong, what they want to do. You're young, you're impressionable, I get it, but I really don't care. I want to see a tough guy.
This amigo's got to put on his pantaloons to get out of here. I wanted to do a video no matter how quick it ended up being, and this isn't really making much of any sense. I am really tired. But I did want to point out that historically, smoking has a direct correlation to how badass you are, how little fucks you actually give, and I think John Constantine on this TV show was really lacking without smoking the cigarettes. Write in the comments below whether or not you think it's stupid, whether or not you think John Constantine should smoke, how you feel about there not being as much smoking in comic books. If you're a smoker, how tough it is for you. Remember to subscribe. I'll be back with more videos on what comics I bought this week. I'm working on a Mustache Piece Theater. I got my wife actually involved with that to do some voice acting. I spend most of my time in the bathroom, so that comments on the can segment where I have my pants off and I talk with a funny voice in the bathroom. There's going to be a lot more of that. This is your comic book mustache saying, behind every good man, there's a mustache. And behind this mustache, there's probably another mustache. I don't know. Adios, brochachos. See you next time.
I'm a fella with a heart of gold, with the ways of a gentleman, I've been told. The kind of a feller that wouldn't even harm a flea. But if me and a certain character met, that guy that invented the cigarette, I'd murder that son of a gun in the first degree. Of course, it ain't cause I don't smoke myself, and I don't reckon it to hinder your health. I've smoked them all my life, but I ain't dead yet, quite. But nicotine slaves are all the same at a petting party or a poker game. Everything's gotta stop while they smoke the cigarette. Smoke, smoke, smoke that cigarette. Puff, 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 and if you smoke yourself to death, tell St. Peter at the Golden Gate, you hates to make him wait. You've gotta have another cigarette. Chuck Thompson. Kick it on out, Johnny. Go. In a game of chance the other night, old Dame Fortune was doing me right. The kings and queens just kept on coming around. Well, I got a full and I bet it high, but my bluff didn't work on a certain guy. He just kept on raising and chunking that long green down. He'd raise me, I'd raise him. I sweated blood, you gotta sink or swim. He finally called, didn't raise the bet. I said, ace is full, pal, how about you?